how do you use these four elements and bring your creativity to start, going towards 1, 2, 3? Because I came into college a little overconfident, because you could tell that, since I started as a failure. Somehow, luckily, most of my teachers, gave me the pass to keep going ahead. And so, in that 1 year time, I reached a point of maturity where I could, I got exposed to so many players. If I review back to who I was 1 year, 2 years before,
Yeah,
and to who I am today,
absolutely.
there'll be a lot of changes in the way I viewed at life, in the way I viewed at different elements.
Hello viewers, welcome back to the latest episode on GIBS IRE Talks podcast powered by GIBS Business School, a place where innovation meets inspiration. This is Professor Guru Prasad, host for today. We at GIBS strongly believe in creating an exposure for the students which leads to holistic development, meaning, we strongly believe in giving the exposure beyond the four walls of the classrooms or beyond the syllabus. And that's the need of the hour, considering that you are a business school. And it's also a moral responsibility of us to identify these students who have really exposed themselves and developed holistically. So today, I'm all pleased to introduce you somebody who has holistically developed, and I personally loved his journey in GIBS. To all my viewers, let me welcome Mr. Omar Rahmon, our BBA student. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, sir. I'm actually honored to be here.
Pleasure is all ours. Before I get into the main crux, you have been the awardee of the prestigious Student of the Year award. Let me take you a bit back. Can you recollect your school days and the PU days? Did you visualize that this would happen one day in your life?
No, most probably not. If I talk about my school days, majority of the time it was like any typical Indian boy dreamt of being a cricketer, very commonly. So entire energy was focused on just playing cricket. And when you talk about holistically, I wouldn't say I was anywhere close. I was put into music classes, ditched it. I was put into guitar classes, did not go well. Karate did not go well. So I did not experiment enough, and I think that's what held back, I think, one regret from school days. But then, yeah, I used to fail a lot in school. 4, 5 subjects. Nobody believes me, but that's very honestly, I used to fail, I think, majority of the subjects, 4 to 5 subjects. Somehow, luckily, most of my teachers, gave me the pass to keep going ahead, and then fortunately I passed. And then I took a year break, and I think that was one of the best decisions of my life, because that 1 year had taught me more than what 10 years of school did not teach me. So I went one entire year just to play cricket. I went to different academies, different matches, met different people. I also went for corporate leagues when I was only 15. So met people almost twice or thrice my age, and seeing what they are doing in their life and taking advices. And then when I came to 11th, I thought, let's try something fully new. Let's start life again. And took commerce, and then from there, I think I realized how important studies or knowledge basically is. And from there, I think as soon as I came to college, there was a dream. I always used to see the early videos of Student of the Year winners. And then there was always a dream of winning the trophy. And more than for me, it was mostly a gift to my parents for, at least withstanding a child who never passed in school properly.
I know.
So it was.
No, as a cricket enthusiast, I would definitely love to ask this question. You would have continued that sport and make it as a profession. What stopped you?
So, in that 1 year time, I reached a point of maturity where I could, I got exposed to so many players that were better than me, and also players that are not better than me. So I could always start noticing the nuances that these players had already done in their life. And one of the few things that I noticed was one, talent. And most of these players worked hard. I'm not saying they did not work hard. So they had the talent, they worked hard. The few players who had the talent who were not working hard. Now I fit somewhere in middle, and at that point of time, the odds did not seem to go well in my favor, because you could always see that these players worked more than you. Most of the time, double or triple than what you would put in. And so when talent starts working super hard, it did not make sense. And at that time, I did not have the mentality also to push myself further. Like the way they conduct fitness, the way they look at their mentality. I just was not close in all parameters. So I felt a pivot in life was very necessary, and try seeing other avenues that I might excel in.
That's great. I mean, not so studious in your subjects in 10th and bouncing back with, that also showed a true sport. So it's not just a cricket, it's a sporting mentality that you have within you, right?
I think I'd like to add one great point. My mother says one of the reasons why she was never worried about me, even though I kept failing, was so this is very closely related to cricket. So even if I lost a match, or even if I did not get a chance, or I did not perform, the next day I used to take my kit and I still go to practice. So she was already confident that at a young age, even after losses or not able to play as well, I was still taking the kit and going the next day. So I always showed up. So she was at least confident that not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday this will.
So you have that never give up attitude in you.
I had that whatever comes my way, I'll show up.
Absolutely. Now, viewers, I would say I have seen him in the cricket field as well. He's been a good all-rounder, yeah. Let's come back to the journey here. So, could you recollect your first year in GIBS?
Yeah, very vividly even today. I think from the first day itself, I can remember every day that went by in my first year of college. And I think that was a very transformative year because I came into college a little overconfident, because you could tell that, since I started as a failure and then I became suddenly a very studious, a ranker. So there was this first newness that they call that, once you first time became a ranker, you start feeling that, okay, this is great. Maybe once you're a ranker every year, you don't feel that hype anymore. You feel you're just normal. The maturity is not there. Started out that way. I met few people who were super energetic, few people who were charismatic, few people who were lazy. So I met multiple personalities, and those were the best thing that I did. So I went to every group. I was in every friend group for a small period of time. I experimented my way to see, what I might take in, whether I would fit in that group. And I was in all parts of group, from the naughtiest to the most studious. Then I found a perfect mix. And then I think I found very good friends. And after that, I think the entire year went in me experimenting with Management Fest. I think at the point when I came to college, only our senior had gone to one Management Fest. So there was no track of Management Festing as a whole. So I started that, let's go to Management Fest, went to two consecutively, and then seeing that other people also got motivated to join, and that's how the festing culture started picking up in BBA, at least as far as I remember.
I made the comment in my opening remarks, we always believe in exposure beyond the four walls of the classrooms. So you got that exposure. So you can only take the horse to the water. You can't make it drink. But probably you were the one who utilized every opportunity that came on your way. Make sense when I say that?
Oh, very true indeed. I think you could take it however you wanted, but this is one of the most positive things in GIBS that I did as a student was I exploited every opportunity in my favor.
Right.
As a student or as a person associated with GIBS, I took every chance that came by. Now I went to Thailand. It was an amazing trip. Normally, I met people from other colleges, let it be the IITs, IIMs, but they were not sponsored. And I at least got most of my trips sponsored by GIBS. So, and the chance also comes down to, I went and took an opportunity to ask Ritesh sir directly if I could get the sponsorship. I consulted you also if I could go and ask. I consulted Pallavi ma'am. I consulted many people, but the last step to actually going and meeting Ritesh sir, it was worth a chance. And other than that, also, I think I've used every other chance that came by. Let it be. I also thought, did you know I was a teacher for a brief period of time?
Was it? Wow.
I think for the 22-24 batch of PGDM, I was an assistant professor for digital marketing with Shankar sir. I and Shankar sir took class together.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I gave him assignments. So I did everything. I was also a teacher for a brief period. So I exploited every opportunity. If that would make
You were a good teacher? You're a strict teacher?
I would say I was more of a forward, direct teacher because I am a student myself.
Absolutely.
And anytime you see a teacher, the first thought comes is too much practical, is not going to make sense. So I made sure to tell them that I'm not going to teach you from the alphabet A to alphabet Z.
Right.
All I'm going to teach you is from alphabet A to D, what you might need in life, for now at least. Now, how do you use these four elements and bring your creativity to start, going towards 1, 2, 3, which is completely different. So I've built the foundation. From there on, you're on your own. So I kept it very straightforward. And I think, I hope that they had fun.
Great. I would love to see the feedback. If you have given any.
No feedback on.
Anyways, viewers, I believe you have understood the journey from being not so studious to getting into the rank zone and getting into the course that he loves, exploring the opportunities beyond the national boundaries, going to international platforms, and finally winning something that is one of the most prestigious event of GIBS. He is the student of the year 2025 for BBA. Did you ever imagine this?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, I think manifestation plays a very important
Absolutely.
role. This is a quote that stayed by very long. I'm not able to recollect it, but this is how it goes. So you do not become a CEO once you get the title of a CEO.
Mm-hmm.
You start acting like one, and then the title always comes over. So start behaving like you are the student of the year. I started going around inspiring other students, and I'm not talking BBA alone. There's PGDM also who kept following me. I inspired them, told them what different industries are like. Started a club which was into getting them the practical exposure. Told them to go festing, and festing became a culture itself. Uh, at the same time, I also told them to explore research case studies, and all of these things, acted as a way of. I also promoted library. For a brief period, I won the librarians of the year. Like I was the best library student because I had visited so much and I borrowed so many books, and that also become a part of culture. So
Yes.
BBA students itself, now you open the library register, you see a lot of entries. But when I came to college, you would hardly find 4 people entering, and most of them, out of 4, 3 of them would be for taking printout. So I think start inspiring, start behaving like you are the student of the year, and the title will always come by.
That's a mic drop moment. I seen this video. I believe you have seen it as well in one of the award ceremonies in Middle East. While the anchor is about to announce the name of Cristiano Ronaldo, before the name itself is announced, he gets up from the chair and is almost halfway to the stage to receive the award. So I think I saw something similar with you as well that day. I was witnessing you. I mean, well deserved. So how did you feel, and what was the reaction from you? I saw your parents also were a part of this particular event. How did you feel for them? So because I've seen you from day one, not so studious and 10, hardly, difficult situation for you to pass as well, and grabbing something like this, wow, I'm sure it would have been a next level feeling for them.
So I feel the student of the year was more of their award than my award. The reason being is the sacrifices that they went through would probably be more than what I went through. So I would have done it for myself, but they did it for me.
True.
So it was more of a proud moment for them and I let them have the entire shine. If you go through the ramp walk again, I was nowhere in the ramp walk. I was at the back.
True.
Even at the entire time, the trophy was held by them. So it was more of their award because it is not easy to keep expecting when you're not getting any output. They did not get it for almost 16, 17 years of their life. So when you're continuously failing, they kept, expecting it, tomorrow would be a brighter day. It is very difficult to do it. Even today as a person, if I were a lost student of the year, it is very difficult for me to again push forward thinking that tomorrow is a brighter day. But for doing that and to keep, having the hope on a child to keep moving forward. So surreal feeling. I was still scared. I was still skeptical if I would win because despite the entire college saying that I would win the award, there's always a moment of, your mind playing tricks on you. But it was
That's a good thing, yeah. That's a good thing.
It was a great feeling. It was a great feeling I was happy that I could at least get them on stage before I graduate.
So I need to ask you this question. If you want to dedicate this award, I'm sure you would name the parents as well.
My parents would be first, 100%. I think the home as an atmosphere was still always positive despite how you were as a student. And this goes for all the parents out there. It's very difficult, at this young age for you to be that mature. But as parent to, despite how a child, different shapes, different forms, different personalities, to keep believing in your child is still one of the most difficult things ever, I feel. Because at the end of the day, you're human. Your emotions are always not in your control. So I feel they are always going to be first. But at the same time, I think GIBS, the family itself, including my teachers, different mentors that I had,
They play a crucial role too.
all of them, and even the seniors and juniors. So I think the last year student of the year, Prerna Virmani also was a very, very big part. Because I think entire batch, she was the only one who kept pushing because we were able to connect on a similar wavelength. And before her, Srilekha also was very big support. So if you see, I've taken a photo with every student of the year until I became a student of the year. So it always, having good friends around is always very important. Ishika was always there for me from my first year to third year. I might have not had a lot of friends, but one was more than enough, is what I would say. And great juniors is.
And having received it from one of the renowned Bollywood actress, would that make some difference?
Oh yeah, I was starstruck. So I was not much of a Bollywood fanatic, but I was pushed to see few of her movies. And this was not before she became the chief guest, but before that itself. I was starstruck at the moment. She was very warm. She was very cheerful. And at the moment, I could not cherish it entirely because for me itself, it was a very big moment, and I was already, in a very overwhelming stage that I could not cherish that entire feeling well.
Cloud nine.
Yeah, but if I were given another chance, I would probably interact more and be more in the moment. But yes, it was a wonderful feeling.
You've been also awarded with 21,000 cash prize.
Yeah.
So I would definitely love to know what would you do with that.
So there's multiple options actually. It's interesting that you asked. So
Viewers, there's a specific reason also why I asked this question. This guy is also highly inclined towards, the startups and also starting something of your own. I'm sure there's a good plan with this also.
yeah. So the first plan with the entire 21,000 amount was to directly invest in the startup.
Okay.
That was the first plan.
So my prediction was right.
Yeah, you're very close. But as of recent, I've gotten a lot into spirituality and personal development on a more deeper level. So I feel, and I wanted to actually, experience this on a much deeper level. So that probably the 21,000, I'm going to invest it back into myself to experience something
That's
that
very important.
I never did in my life. I've done courses. I've tried reading books. I've done multiple things. But I recently came across, the cosmic realm and all of these things. So probably I'll experiment, put that money there.
You're talking too much to your age, eh? Don't you think so?
People call me older than what I look. But yes, I just wanted to explore it.
That's how people become unique.
Yeah. And I also feel in this world where everybody is distracted with noise, staying quiet is going to be one of the biggest things going forward. Because you start observing things that other people miss out on. So if I'm able to get that ability, it's always going to help me in my startup journey or generally in this whole era of corporate or
What you have to really understand and observe with him is he's very clear in his journey and the pathway, right? So what next in the list for Omar?
I'll correct you. Actually, if you notice, I'm the most confused person ever.
I didn't feel so.
There's
You always look, you are very clear as to what you have to achieve in down the line.
that might be a marketer's way of saying it.
Okay.
So internally, I'm always a very confused person.
Confused at this age is very good.
Yeah, that's a positive sign. So a lot of options, lot of energy.
Yes.
I could do anything I want to right
absolutely.
now. At the same time, there's also a lot of fear. There's a lot of
Which is good again.
probably, but that again begs the question that I'm so confused. At most of the times, I end up doing everything,
Okay.
and that at one point it is very good because I do multiple things at a time.
Master of all.
Most of the times, jack of all trades, master of none, but most of the time better than master of one.
True.
That's the entire statement. So I tried everything, and that actually helps me a lot. So when I tell my juniors also, my unique background is I've did my first year entirely 1.5 year marketing, and then 1.5 year I dedicated completely to finance. So I had this marketing and finance deep. I was deep already in both the subjects.
It's a beautiful mix.
Exactly. And then I was always an empathetic person by nature. So I did not have to study HR to understand humans.
Correct.
I just had to interact. I just need to give my ears out to them, just listen to what they feel. So I was always, when we go to events or when we normally talk on conversations, I was always good with all three subjects. So this unique mixture always brought me into a strategic position automatically. But that is not necessary for everybody. Now, somebody might be of a unique mix of HR and finance, but that also brings a new perspective altogether, because the way they view HR might be very different. Now, I might say tomorrow that we need a budget of this much for marketing. I can explain it to the marketer and the finance team why we need that particular budget or why we need to cut the budget. So I feel unique experiences always play a very important role. At the same time, it also brings a problematic situation because you spread yourself too thin. You do too many things, the chances of you getting burnt out, and which I've got multiple times, 3 years, you get burnt out. You do not necessarily have time for your own pleasure. You're just always into work, 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 and somewhere I feel I could have spent more time with friends and family in this period. But
Yeah, this memorable college life, you won't get it back, as people say.
I have not actually had the typical college life. I think majority of my college life has gone into spending time with quality time with friends, and mostly festing, a little bit of gaining wisdom, knowledge. So I had a very boring college life, but it's not a college life I regret, because when I graduate, I see people regretting their choices, and then they say, "Ki, you did a very great job in your entire college life." But through the 3 years, nobody said I did a great job. All they said was, "You're so boring. You did not do anything. You're not having fun." But sometimes when the work you do or the passion that you follow is fun,
As long as you're not boring for yourself, that's okay.
yeah,
I'm sure you're never bored of yourself. You invest a lot of time on you.
yeah.
You went on curating yourself. That's the key.
And it's so interesting. View the human body as a machine.
Absolutely.
Keep repairing it, keep making it better.
Yes.
A machine that could always infinitely develop
And
itself.
for all these experiments, this is the right age. Agree?
Yes.
Now, any plans for the masters? If yes, where, when, how?
So I did not have any intention for masters particularly. My only thing was I already gained enough knowledge as a master student would in these 3 years, because I had gone to events where I competed against IIMs, and we were winners multiple times. So I did not ever want to do a master's degree, because I felt it was more inclined to an engineer who wanted to learn management, but I wanted to be a management student that wants to learn engineering. So my goal was, after BBA, was to enter into tech, to learn more about technology.
Okay.
I wanted to learn, probably do a diploma, or at least learn it on a much deeper level. Let it be coding, let it be architecture, or let it be artificial intelligence as a whole. Because AI as a whole is a wave again. So people who have missed the internet wave, this is the second wave that you can get in this generation itself. So if you're able to catch the wave, it's a quick, easy route to make some money, get some fame, and also retire happily for you to follow your passion more infinitely. So I don't want to miss the wave.
For all these plans, for all this passion that you have, I'm sure, absolute support from your parents. You have been discussing with them with this on the matter.
So one of the greatest things of my parents is they listen, and it works well because I talk a lot.
Great.
So it just works in harmony because nobody is talking over me, and most of the time, yeah, they are supportive.
Okay.
Because one way I do have a clear reasoning why I want to do this, and it's always backed. It's not baselessly that I want to do this. There's always some reason behind why this particular thing might work, and most of the times they are okay with being the inferior one, and that's very rare to drop your ego. They're okay with being the person who doesn't know anything. So when I explain them that this is going to be the next big thing, this is what we have to be doing, they listen and they act as a student who's just learning. And that's very rare because most of the times I have gone through phases as well, when I was a child, They were the ones who were telling them, no, this is wrong and this is not what you're supposed to do. But the evolution that they also went through from being a father or a mother to being a student themselves now is more amazing. So I feel that really works a very
That's
big.
great. That's indeed a blessing here, because I've seen many where the students are very aspirant, but lack of support from the parent at times derails the whole passion. Umar, a lot of juniors watching you, okay, and I'm sure they're equally excited because you have won the prestigious, and they would also want to be the next Omar. Any tips for them who are listening to you?
So one I've already given out, which is act like a student of the year before becoming one, and the title will always follow.
Right.
And this goes for anything in your life. Act like an entrepreneur before becoming one, and it'll be a much smoother journey. One more, what I would really love saying is keep your energies focused. Do not spread yourself too thin. A mistake which I did, which I would again advise myself again, is do not do too many things at once, because only 80% of the goals can be achieved with 20% of your efforts. So identify only those 20% of your things that you need to do. So you are more focused, and most of the time it's better to do one thing with 100% effort than 10 things with 10% effort. So I would say the results will be much bigger, and you'll actually see yourself grow. And I've also said this in a very interesting way, Guru sir, that I said this to a junior itself, that when you keep a goal, there's point A, there's point D.
Right.
And point B and C are your checkpoints.
Correct.
Right. Most of them, what I went through is I did a lot of things. So I did not go straight line. Rather, I went in a spiral. So when point A to point B, it probably took me maybe, let's keep 4 days. But it would have normally taken me only 1 day to do it. So keeping more focused energy towards one particular task at a time is much better than spreading yourself everywhere and being all over the place. And I think I got that feedback from my friends itself. I did too many things at once. Most of the time I was burnt out. I was not emotionally available. I was very tired. But now I think you would also see that I'm much more energetic than I was in second year of.
Absolutely. I mean, you have done a lot of experiments, which is good at this point of time. You end of the day tend to learn what is right and what is wrong. And that's the right way to give tips to the youngsters as well, right?
Yeah.
So before we conclude, what would be your one-line word about GIBS, if I need to ask you?
I'd say transformative. Do I need to explain it why it was transformative? But it was transformative all in all. If I review back to who I was 1 year, 2 years before,
Yeah,
and to who I am today,
absolutely.
there'll be a lot of changes in the way I viewed at life, in the way I viewed at different elements. When I came to college, I thought marketing, finance, HR is all the world about. But when I'm graduating, I'm into history, philosophy, and then I just evolved as a different person altogether. My parents were scared I'd become a monk. So I evolved. So
Any plans?
I feel hair is a very precious element till now.
Not necessary. Monk doesn't shave off his hair.
The ones I have seen have always hair. So at least until and unless I have hair, probably stay.
That's good. Well, I think this is one podcast that none of you should miss. The Omar story is self-explanatory. I mean, the way he started, the way he was, and the way he is now, and the way he has transformed himself in the span of 3+2, I would say 5-6 years. Incredible. And in between, I asked him also, you're speaking too much for your age. But that's how, today it's not about being number one, it's about being unique. Number one positions are always temporary. Ups and downs are always possible. But if you are unique, you're the only one there. There's no competition at all. You're earning the monopoly. That is what I can see in Omar. So I wish all my viewers also to take a lot of inputs from his story. And I'm sure there would be a lot of positive vibes in you and some transformative changes in you, just like him. I think we had a great session. Short is always sweet. I always feel, it's an era of reels where people don't tend to listen to you for more than 30 seconds. But this interaction is something that you shouldn't miss. Well, for now, I think we are ending this. On behalf of all my viewers, I extend my heartfelt thanks to you for your time, Omar.
Thank you, sir. It's been a wonderful talk.
Thank you. Don't forget us to like, us in all the social media platforms, GIBS IRE Talks, GIBS Podcasts, all of it. And please follow Omar as well in all the social media platforms. You're going to learn a lot from him as well. For now, this is Guru Prasad signing off. Thank you for watching.